Peggy Janis, 34, is divorced and a single parent of 2 children, ages 10 and 12. Employed full-time, she earns $28,360 annually. She has no other income sources such as alimony or children support because her ex-husband is disabled and cannot pay anything. Janice wants to own her own home and develop a realistic budget to manage her income. She'll also like to get a higher paying job and feel more financially secure. Concerns about financial security are not unfounded. Janice currently has a negative net worth. This means that her debt exceeds her assets, which include $800 in a checking account, $8,331 in a retirement savings account, a $1,500 car, and $2,000 of personal property. She owes $19,000 on a credit card, charging 19% interest, and is a self-confessed shopaholic. Janice says she spent only $1,800 of her $2,363 income, including $700 for rent. She doesn't have a car loan and puts nothing aside for saving. She does not own disability or renter's insurance and has only the minimum state liability limits on her automobile policy. She works for a county government and her employer provides health benefits for herself and the children. She and her ex-husband each have $50,000 of term life insurance. Janice does not have a will. She is also living day to day and is most concerned with meeting current expenses rather than saving for the future. Her anticipated retirement date is when she would be age 65. To date, she has not started an individual retirement account but is contributing to a mandatory employer pension plan.
Like every other single mother, Peggy has been faced with some outstanding debts that need to be paid. As the case study was being reviewed, key points were corrected. We found out the weaknesses and strengths of Peggy's dilemma.
Firstly, there are many strengths specific to her case. Peggy is employed full-time with a full-time job with a decade monthly salary of $2,363. Job stability is an important criteria for financial institution when it comes to evaluating if an individual is eligible for a loan. Hence, Peggy is already on the right path. Moreover, Peggy is equipped with a health benefit for herself and for her children. This is an indirect form of saving for her as she would not need to spend on medical care for her family. The mandatory pension plan that Peggy is obligated to contribute to is also a strength in her long-term financial situation as it provides her with some savings for retirement. Life insurance certifies her situation further because this provides security for her children in the event that Peggy dies.
Furthermore, Peggy has quite a few assets, which can strengthen her collateral position should she require a loan in the future. And it is also notable that she does not have many liabilities, not even a car loan. These traits are definitely attractive to financial institutions. Hence, Peggy's major strength is that her situation gives her access to these institutions. Though she is not the ultimate saver currently, the important notion is that she has the potential to save, as we all expound on later.
With all these strengths evident, it is clear that Peggy's problem is simply a lack of financial planning and a mismanagement of her funds. To highlight the primary weaknesses of Peggy's situation, she is a pronounced shopaholic. Especially in a single-parent home where resources cannot be pooled, this habit rapidly deteriorates her financial situation. This ties in as one of the emotional issues of Peggy's situation. She is a single mother with a single income and she cannot be aided financially by her disabled ex-husband. The strain lies on her to fend her household independently. Additionally, Peggy has no will and lacks retirement savings of her own, which evidences her lack of long-term financial planning. Despite the ability to save small amounts, Peggy spends $1,100 monthly in excess of rent with not a cent being saved. A major weakness in her situation is her negative net worth, which can be attributed to her major credit card spending. All in all, the primary weaknesses in her situation all point to her inability to manage her funds.
From our research of the policies of most banks in Belize, we found out that for a customer to qualify for a mortgage, they must have at least 25% in equity and can only borrow 75% of a house value from the bank. In our case, if Peggy should maintain her savings of 570.46 in a regular saving account and earn a typical 2.5 interest rate, which most banks offer in Belize, in 5 years' time, Peggy should have around $36,436.73. In our case, we estimate that Peggy may miss a couple deposit or two for unwanted expenses arising in her house. However, with this amount of saving combined with her asset that can pose as collateral for her mortgage, this will put her in good financial position to be eligible for a loan. Peggy has up to 26 years before she will retire, where she will earn an incremental income and will be more able to afford a mortgage set out for 25 years.
When Peggy walks into a bank, the most likely action the bank will take is to term out the facility. Given the evaluation of her cash flows discussed, we assume that with some rearranging of how she spends her money, it is very feasible that she can save more or less of $1,063.33 per month. Peggy can still save after covering rent, food, and other necessities for the household. As such, her bank will note a trend of positive saving behavior which can benefit her in the future when it is time to apply for her mortgage. Moreover, her saving in this way will also build up the equity contribution that is required when seeking a mortgage loan. After emphasizing some of the short, medium, and long-term consequences of Peggy's current situations, we can see that a well-advised and planned situation is needed to remedy her circumstances. We can assist Peggy in accomplishing her desires, which are to own her own home and develop a realistic budget to manage her income. This is all assuming that Peggy will do her part in changing her shopaholic habits. We propose the action step below. First and foremost, she must pay off her credit card and credit card liability of $19,000 plus interest charges. This is a way for her to begin to build a good credit history with her bank so as to eventually be eligible for a mortgage.
To help Peggy with her financial situations, we grasp at the strengths and capitalize on them, and then propose corrective actions for the weaknesses. We found her salary to be a strong point and proposed a new way in which she could allocate it to be more purposeful uses. We suggested she cut down the amount of her salary that she spends because we found her expenditure to be relatively high. As such, this freed up some cash to allow her to save a portion for every month. We quantified how much we thought she could feasibly save after her monthly household obligations. Clearing up her existing debt was also a suggestion because we wanted to position Peggy in a place where she would be eligible for a mortgage loan in a few years. These are all steps we suggested to be taken in a short term so as to build up her credibility and saving trends, which are important traits to have when approaching a bank for a mortgage loan. After calculating how much Peggy would have saved at the end of 5 years, using the future value formula and assuming a competitive saving deposit rate, we found that she was financially ready to apply for a mortgage. We also formulated an amortization such that she would have paid off her credit card debt by the time she was ready for the mortgage loan. This is because banks are attracted to clients who do not have any liabilities. At that point, Peggy had no debt, not even a car loan as mentioned in the case. Hence, we strategically amortized the credit card payoff in that fashion. With a 25-year mortgage still falling within her time to retirement, we assume a bank will be likely to grant this tenor, most likely at a higher interest rate as incorporated in our analysis. Our entire plan from the start was to strategically place Peggy in a financial position that banks would not hesitate to lend. We utilized a bank product such as a regular savings account to assist Peggy in developing a savings trend, while earning interest at the same time. We also utilized Peggy's resources to highlight her eligibility for the mortgage loan because her assets, such as the car, property, and even her insurance scheme, make her a more attractive client to a bank. After previously analyzing the short, medium, and long-term effects that her immediate actions will have on her financial security, we propose a way to remedy each one in what we believe to be a real-world method.